Russian President Vladimir Putin is ready to end the war in Ukraine. That's the message four unnamed Russian sources delivered to Reuters on May 24, 2024. According to those sources, Putin is open to negotiating a ceasefire with Ukraine that would see the current battlefield lines essentially become a new border between the countries. Russia would control everything on its side of the front lines, including the Ukrainian territory it's already taken, while Ukraine would get to keep what they've managed to defend. Three of Reuters' sources have even said that Putin is frustrated at the lack of peace talks. He believes the West is attempting to prevent a ceasefire from being negotiated, presumably to serve its own ends, while Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has also repeatedly said that he will not hold peace talks with Putin. All of this leads us to an obvious question. Why? Why is Putin apparently so ready to open ceasefire talks now after he's spent over 2 years bombarding Ukraine? Before we dig into that question, it's important to point out that Reuters sources believe that a ceasefire is far from the only option Putin is floating. As one of them puts it, Putin can fight for as long as it takes, but Putin is also ready for a ceasefire to freeze the war. Putin himself has suggested the same thing. When quizzed about the Reuters reports while in Belarus, Putin said, "Let them resume," in regards to the peace talks, but there was a caveat. He also added that any negotiation should be based on the realities on the ground and can't proceed on the basis of what one side wants. Those realities on the ground may bring us to the first reason why Putin is ready to talk. He thinks he's taken enough territory. We can look to the BBC for insight into how significant those gains have been. In a May 2024 report, it released a series of maps to show how much Ukrainian territory Russia either controls outright or at least partially controls. It points out that Russian forces have managed to cross the international border separating Belgorod and Kharkiv, Ukraine's second largest city, to make what some analysts call